All the participants, a very good morning and good evening. Welcome to today's session.
So in today's session, I would explain about document splitting and configuration. Document splitting is a feature that is introduced by SAP in the new GL accounting. This feature was introduced to meet the user requirement to transfer the balances of balance sheet items in profit center accounting and reconciliation. Document splitting automatically takes the line items based on the dimensions configured. Document splitting helps in drawing financial statements like profit center, business area, etc. on real-time basis. There are two types of document splitting. Sorry, there are three types of document splitting. First one is known as passive splitting. The next one is known as active splitting. And the other one is known as zero balancing split. So passive, active, and zero balancing split. There are three types of document splitting: passive splitting, active splitting, and zero balancing. So first of all, what is passive splitting? Passive splitting is especially used for clearing transactions. For example, payment transactions. Active splitting is rule-based splitting. And zero balancing splitting, it ensures not only the documents with zero balance, but also balanced for the characteristics as well. For example, there are two different expenses, 400 and 600, for example. But the payable is only one, that is 1000. So here you have only one payable. There are two different expenses, 400 and 600, but we have only one payable, that is 1000. But the profit center here is PC01 and PC02. In the case of two profit centers, the system automatically breaks the physical line items. This is the entry view. In GL view, the payable is divided to 1200 and 600. Okay, let's take the same example for 400 and 600. In GL view, the payable view is divided to 400 and 600. So here the payable is only 1. In GL view, we will be able to get the financial reports on the basis of this profit center. Here the profit centers will be PC01, PC02. Again you have PC01 and PC02. So here you have different payables. One for 400 and the other one for 600. So in GL view you have two payables. Splitting is all about, mainly it is splitting the profit center and various characteristics. It will post the entries so it gives the full financial reports when we need for the document splitting. So before we go to the document splitting, first we need to perform the configurations. There are few configurations that we need to perform. Just I'll write it down. One is known as classify GL accounts for document splitting. The second one is classify document types for document splitting. Define a zero balance, define zero balance clearing account, define document splitting, characteristics, for general ledger account, and the fifth one is define document splitting characteristics for controlling. And the final last one is activate document splitting. So we have one more extended document splitting. So these are the configurations we need to perform. So these are the configurations that we need to perform. First, we are going to configure classify GL accounts for document splitting. So let us log on to the SAP logon. Double click on S4 IDS. Enter the username and password. Let's continue. So let's enter the T code. So let us go to SAP reference IMG. Expand financial accounting. Expand general ledger accounting. Let's go to business transactions. Here we have document splitting. These all are configurations in document splitting. So here you can see the first one, classify GL account for document splitting. Click execute. Enter the chart of accounts. Click enter. So here you can see the screen on the system. There are no entries over here. It does not match any of the selection criteria. We need to define various GL account number, and you need to define the item category. We need to define the item category. So we need to decide how to split the document. Before that, we need to decide what are account from, what are account to. The account number we need to take up. So it basically comes from accounting. So let us go back. Let us enter SPRO. Click on SAP reference IMG. Expand financial accounting. Expand general ledger accounting. Let's go to master data. Let's go to GL accounts. Expand preparations. So here we need to define the account group. Click execute. So here we see. So here we can see assets, liabilities, expense, incomes. So these are different account groups that are defined. So here you can see the chart of accounts, and then you can see the different account groups. So similarly, the second one belongs to liabilities, third one expenses, and here you can see the number series. 4 relates to expenses and 3 relates to 3, and 1 represents for liabilities and 2 represents assets. So here you have 4 different account groups. Now let us go back to classify GL accounts. Let us click on new entries and let us enter account from. Let us enter account from is 2 lakhs and let us enter account 2 and click enter. So select the category, balance sheet account. Let us enter account from 1 lakh. Let us enter account 2 and select category, expenses. S2 represents enter. So here let us select 4 lakhs, enter account 2, select the category, let us enter revenue, click enter. Select the category, click enter. Now click on more, and here we can see, so here we can see the save option. Click continue. Data was saved. Now classify GL account for document splitting. Classify document types for document splitting. Click execute. There is no need to create any customized document. As you see, there are a lot of document types that are provided, and they are sufficient to be used. Document type is basically a 2 characters. It's just 2 characters. It is used to categorize different business transactions on the basis of different types of transactions. Like for example, for vendor invoice, there is a different document type like vendor payments, and for creating master. Similarly, there is different nature of transactions: accounting document, net asset posting. So you have asset customer invoice and payments, credit memo. So similarly for different others we have. So here we have different nature of transactions, or the business transactions has got the different document types, and that is what basically gives the idea about document type. So all these are different standard document types. So all you have here is the standard document types. We can assign transaction and variant to the document type. The combination of transactions and variant determines the splitting method, which is to be used in document splitting process. The transaction and variant also identifies different types of accounts that are allowed in the document for each document splitting. Now, define zero balance clearing account. Click execute. So the particular configuration steps that you see here, one of the document splitting types, that was zero balancing. When the system uses for the line items, so here you can see the zero balance posting. If they are not equal to zero, then an additional clearing account is added, making them equal to zero in the system. Now, let's see how we can create a zero balancing account in the SAP system, and what we need to maintain for that. Now let's check the GL account. Let's check the GL account for this. So let's click on new GI window. Let us enter the T code FS00. So enter the GL account. So let's continue. So here, let us select GL account type and give the details as balance sheet account. Provide the account group, provide the short text, 0, clearing, and long text, 0 clearing account, and click on control data. So here the currency is INR. And let us select the sort key. Let us select the sort key as 00. Now let's click on create. Select the field status group. Select G001. It's already existing. So let's select the account type. Let us give the account group's assets. Zero clearing account. Click on control data. So provide the sort key, click on create, select field status. Now click on save. Click continue. Data was saved. Let's copy the GL account. So here we given the GL account created. Let's go back to GL account group. 1 minute. Let us select the account key and click on copy as. Provide the description, zero balance. Provide the account key as 003 and click enter. And click on copy all. Click continue. And select the account key. Provide the account. Enter the chart of accounts and click enter. Click on new entries. Here enter the GL account that we created. Copy the GL account number. Click enter. So here you can see the short text, zero clearing, and click on save. And click continue. Click continue. Data was saved. Document splitting characteristics for general ledger accounting. Click execute. In this particular configuration, we specify for which characteristics we want to perform document splitting in general ledger accounting. So we need to decide what will be the different characteristics on the basis of the management will be looking for different financial reporting like business area, profit center, and segment, which will be mainly used for various reporting purpose to the business. So here if you see, select the account for zero balance, business area, and please set this as mandatory field. So here we select the checkbox for zero balance. If indicator is checked, the system checks the complete document settings, whether the invoice is balanced to zero or activate the characteristics. If it is not zero, then system generates additional line items to activate the zero balance. If we select this as mandatory field, if indicator is set the characteristics for each line item, it is available. So during this process, the business can generate complete financial statement. If characteristic is missing on every line item, the system generates error message. So let us click on save, click continue, and finally click continue. So here we can see code generated for variables for field moments. Let us go back and define document splitting characteristics for controlling. The additional characteristics that are not relevant for general ledger accounting. So they're basically relevant for other application components that are mainly used for documents that are mainly transferred from general ledger accounting. Basically, if you see this configuration mainly specifies special characteristics that you want to apply document splitting. In a particular configuration, if it is not being used, we can use it in the general ledger accounting because it is basically not related to GL accounting. So it mainly, this part refers to the controlling part. Now let us double click on the cost center. So here you can see the defined document for splitting characteristics for controlling. So what are the different characteristics that you can have for splitting? If you go and check in the drop down, you can find number of different characteristics. You can find order, sale order, real estate key, which can be added for document splitting, the controlling part. That is cost center, cost object, profitability segment number, and these are referring to the internal orders and various different kinds of characteristics. But this is not going to go anywhere as of now. So now here similarly we can add a characteristics. Now the next step, let's go to the next step. Now let us go to the next step to activate the document splitting. Let us go back. So here you can see activate document splitting. Click continue. So in this activity, we need to activate the document splitting. So once we activate document splitting at the client level, so here let us double click on activate document splitting, select the checkbox for document splitting and click on save. Click continue. Data was saved. Now let us double click on deactivation for company code. So here we see the company code for 2018. So deselect the checkbox for inactive and data was saved. Now activation for document splitting is completed. So these are the configuration steps we need to perform for document splitting. Okay, all the participants. So let us continue with the document splitting testing. Let's go to the business area, profit center, and segments. So there are three types of document splitting. Active document splitting, which I'm writing down again. Passive, and third one is a zero balance. So three types of document splitting: active document, passive document, and zero balance documents. So in the active document splitting is a rule-based splitting.